Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that we received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I have come here because I have my on confession that I wish to share with you. I've been in South Africa for a very long time, and I am originally from Mozambique. The confession that I have for you today is that I helped my own boss's enemy to destroy his business. This I did, it was in the year 2012. My boss was an electrical engineer. He was working for Eskom. Him and his wife, they stopped working. The wife, she was working somewhere else, but she was working as an office admin, and she stopped working. They started to run their company from their home, from home where I was working, and their business started booming. They were now into tenders. They were bidding some tenders. And even though I had helped them since 2008, they had always promised me that the day that they were going to become millionaires, they were going to bless me. They even used to promise me that if they were ever going to become millionaires, one day they would even go with me to Mozambique to help me to start a small business. I was always keeping them in my prayers because I was saying, God, if you bless this South African couple, they will never forget me. But I guess that when someone has money, money will always change that person. I came to South Africa from Mozambique with nothing. All that I wanted was to get a job. I found work as a maid in a house in Pretoria. The family, they trusted me. They gave me food. They gave me clothes and a nice room outside. I was very loyal. I started working for this South African couple when their baby was still very young. I was just surviving, and I was grateful for what they were giving me. But when you are now making money, are you not supposed to remember your own worker, the person that used to assist you, the person that used to pray for you? Even when I would go back to Mozambique, I would make sure that when I heard that there were some prophets that were in our village, I would go to that prophet and I would speak with that prophet on behalf of my bosses that I had left in South Africa. But when they started making millions, because the first tender that they got, I heard from their daughter that there was almost 6 point something million that had been deposited into their account. Yet they did not even tell me that now was the time to celebrate. Instead, they gave me an off. And when I was away for the weekend, they had a big bribe celebrating their achievement. I was the one who was going to clean up. When I came back on Monday, there were bottles of expensive wine everywhere. They slept throughout the day because they were too tired. They started going to work because their company was big now. They had an office. So one day, because of the anger and the bitterness that I had, they said that they could not give me more money because I had no bank account and I was not a South African. They were unable to always withdraw such huge amount of cash. One day, when my boss had left for work, a man came to the gate. I knew this man very well. He was my boss's old friend, but from what I had seen and realized where he had stopped visiting them and they grew up in the same township, they were now business enemies. He offered me money. I was standing inside the gate and he was standing outside. I was scared to open because we had big dogs that were going to bite him. He offered me money, more money than I would have ever earned in a year of cleaning. He said to me, your boss thinks he's clever because he won this tender. I want him to lose that tender. I know that he does not pay you very well. He's a stingy man, I know. How much is he giving you here? Tell me. And I told him the money that I was getting paid. He laughed so hard, so much that I felt tears filling up in my eyes, and he said, no, that is not fair. That is not fair. How can you have so much millions and yet your own worker, you give your worker 800? What is 800? I should have refused but I wanted more money. He gave me a small packet that was wrapped in a red cloth and a bottle that was filled with brown liquid. And he told me to do as he had instructed me to do. When they are not home, I want you to bury this packet underneath any tree or any place that is close to a tree in their yard. Then you have to mop. This you have to remember. Each and every morning when they would have gone to work, when you are home alone, you go into the toilet and you do your mess up in the toilet. After pooping, then you take some water before you have flushed. That water is very important. You fill up this bucket. He gave me an empty bucket of Archer, which was 9-liter bucket, and he said that you fill it up with water. After you would have filled up with water, then you start to mop. You can use this water only in their bedroom, but if you want, you can clean the whole house, mop their whole house with the water. Do not use gloves. Let your skin touch it. Do as I say, and I'm going to give you more money. I want the tender. I want him to lose it, and I know that if he loses it, I am going to be the next in line to win that tender. I want to tell you the truth, my brother, that I did something that was really evil. I took the money and I took that small plastic bag and I went and I buried that packet close to this other tree, and I started to do as I had been told. Each and every day when they would have left for work, I would go into the toilet and poop as much as I can, take the water, and I'll start to mop and scrub the floor until the whole house was smelly. I would wait maybe for about an hour. After waiting for an hour, then I will take Domestos and I will start to clean the whole house with Domestos so that the smell of the sewage won't be in their house. That very same month, they started fighting. Their business was not as profitable as they used to. My boss lost the tender. Hey, as for the cars, they were repossessed by the bank one by one. And I heard that the clients that he was relying on, they started pulling out. Even his new friends, the rich ones, they stopped visiting him. I would watch him pacing around the house, shouting on the phone, cursing those that were owing him. I never once suspected that it was me. The maid was the one that had brought him down. And this is my warning to people out there. If you have a maid, you are supposed to treat your maid with respect. When God has blessed you, you are supposed to also bless your maid. When your maid is working for you, do you know that she has even time to pray for you so that God can open the windows of heaven and to pour his blessings upon your life? So when you see God blessing you, sometimes he is not blessing you, but he is blessing your maid indirectly. And when you try to be stingy and try to be more clever, then it means that more cases are going to follow you. The money that they thought they were going to have forever, that money, it all disappeared. And the funny thing about it is that I was able to even buy a car back home using the money that was given to me by my boss's best friend. This is my own story. When you have posted my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.